Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. We have a lot to get through today, so I'll just jump straight into it. My name is Ahmad Al-Qadi. It's difficult to stand here and even begin to express and adequately illustrate the frustration that so many Canadians are having right now with the government's refusal to call for a ceasefire, refusal to acknowledge the fact that a war crime is taking place right before our eyes. All we're asking for is to prevent the further loss of innocent life in Gaza, the West Bank, and Israel. I want us to think clearly about this, that it's been 1 month since the bombardment, the indiscriminate bombing of civilians in Gaza has begun. More than 10,000 civilians have been killed indiscriminately, among them over almost 4,000 children and over 3,000 women and girls. Today, what we'd like to focus on is the vulnerable communities in Gaza. The truth is simple. You either stand with the oppressed or stand with the oppressor. And our government has blatantly abetted the indiscriminate murder of civilians. Collective punishment is a war crime. We all know it. And yet our government has unequivocally stood by it and endorsed it. So we're here today to give a much-needed platform to Canadians who represent vulnerable communities in Gaza. We must recognize that civilians are being killed. They're not merely fully able-bodied people. Many of them suffer from physical and mental disabilities, are people living with disabilities. Many of the victims are women who are pregnant with children, not to mention the horrific number that we just stated, the number of children that were murdered by a government that has openly claimed it would carry out a genocide in Gaza. How many more times will Canadians have to say enough is enough? It is clear that our Prime Minister is out of touch with Canadians who want a ceasefire, because a recent poll indicated that 77% of Canadians want a ceasefire to prevent further loss of innocent life. And these are Canadians across the board, whether they vote for the Conservative Party, Liberal Party, NDP, so on and so forth. This is every single Canadian, a vast majority, that are demanding a ceasefire. So without further ado, I will call on Sarah from the Palestinian Youth Movement to deliver her remarks.